Ash Wednesday is unbiblical, and Christ would condemn this practice. But is that really what he would say? Let's find out. Today, Catholics put ashes on their forehead to show that they're fasting for a 40-day period leading up to Easter. Seems contradictory to what Jesus said in Matthew 6 about not being boastful. The Bible talks about ashes. In Genesis, it reminds us that we're mortal and subject to suffering and death. Layered onto that, Job shows us that ashes are an outward sign of repentance. And we also observe this in the passages here. It also shows ashes accompanied with sackcloth, something uncomfortable and even painful to wear instead of being dripped out, as well as fasting from food. And all this for intense occasions of penance, intercession, and supplication. So this goes back to the Old Testament, but Jesus recognizes this too in Matthew 11:21. So ashes are an ancient and biblical sign of remembering our mortality, repentance, intercession, and getting closer to God. And the readings for Mass all line up. In Joel, we see a description of a public and collective day of fasting which God commands, or reminds us the practice is all the change from within when he says, rend your hearts, not your garments. Similarly, Leviticus 16 establishes Yom Kippur, a day of penance where everyone fasts intensely and submits to intense prayer. Ash Wednesday is the New Testament equivalent of this, and Matthew 6 from earlier is actually the gospel for this day, because prayer and fasting as well as almsgiving is what Christ expects us to do. But these aren't to be done out of pride, which is what this reading reminds us, because this season is to be practiced in private. Plus, this honors Jesus' 40 days of fasting in the desert and battling with sin. The same sin Adam and all of us have fallen to: pleasure, possession, and pride. Except Jesus wins. Fasting and prayer were huge for this battle. And the second reading tells us the time is now. Be reconciled and come back to God and his love. And our suffering can be linked to Jesus, because the time of sorrow is about the suffering that Jesus went through for all of us. And one important thing to note, that this fasting should definitely be done out of love, which is largely what this is about. Yeah, it's not easy. Biologically speaking, when you fast, your body notices. Monkey brain says, yo, time to munch. But the higher mind that God gave us is able to think, wait, I'm doing this for God, and I'm stating for my pleasures to get closer to him. He sacrificed greatly for us, so out of love, you can definitely sacrifice chocolate, coffee, TikTok, etc. Or even add on, such as praying the rosary more, reading the Bible more, etc. It's tough, but doable. Think of the gym. You do what you can, and then some. You progressively get stronger. It's like that, but for your spirit. So enter the spiritual battle. You aren't alone. We can strengthen ourselves during this time, and Christ is with us every step of the way. So yeah, this season is biblical, Christ approves, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And thanks for watching. Let me know what you're giving up for Lent in the comments and follow for more.